Seems like free agency is starting to fizzle down, but there's still some impactful moves being made. One to a team that you and I both love. The Charlotte Hornets have acquired Kelly Oubre Jr. What do you think about his fit on that roster?
So a lot of your fit has to do with the pace that the team plays with offensively. And when he first got to the Warriors, when you have Steph Curry in the half court, you're going to have a breakneck speed. It's going to be like Manhattan at 12 in the afternoon on a Saturday. It's just like everything's happening, passing, cutting, moving. And so now when he goes to the Hornets, it's going to be more traditional. They play windshield wiper fast because LaMelo Ball continues to make sure the basketball has energy. And so now his offense is going to settle in. His percentages are going to go up. He's going to be a defender and a scorer and a finisher for the Hornets. And again, I'm liking what I'm seeing overall from the Eastern Conference. Every move for each team is not designed to necessarily win Game 7 of the NBA Finals next year. But I'll tell you what, you add Melo to go with Kelly Oubre and the young players that they're continuing to build. You saw how Miles Bridges took a leap and P.J. Washington got a lot better. So I like what they're doing with the Hornets.
I do like what they're doing with the Hornets. And when you talk about Russell Westbrook added to the Lakers, like that is a big deal. This is just kind of a little deal, but it's going to really solidify them as a playoff contender in the Eastern Conference. And I just like what this franchise is doing under their newer head coach. They've got, as you mentioned, LaMelo Ball, my favorite rookie in the league last year. They've got Scary Terry. Hayward comes back. He could be healthy. Washington, Biyombo. And now you add Oubre. I do like what they're doing. They drafted Book Knight. This is a good news. If I'm in Charlotte and I'm a Hornets fan, this is the best I've felt about my franchise in a long time. There are reports and rumors that Ben Simmons is not picking up phone calls from the team, not picking up phone calls from his teammates, and there's certain places he does want to go, certain places he doesn't want to go. What do you see with the future of his relationship with the 76ers?
So first and foremost, we got to understand something. He flamed out in the playoffs this year and was invisible in the fourth quarter. And so therefore, as a competitor, there's some pain there. And then when your team loses, and obviously Doc goes to the podium, Joel goes to the podium, the fans are booing and jeering, and rightfully so. Their all NBA caliber performer didn't show up. And then the process starts to look like it's over. Because I saw the Toronto Raptors win the East and win the championship. You see that? I saw the Miami Heat win the East. I just saw the Milwaukee Bucks win the East and win the championship. I don't believe they're getting closer to winning the East, even though they had the number 1 seed last year. Let me tell you the ways. The Nets are going to be healthy this year, right? The Bucks are coming off the championship. The Miami Heat have retooled their squad. So now all of a sudden they're amongst that group of, I guess, 4, 5 to 6, 7 jockeying for position in the East. So it's going to be interesting to see how the Sixers play this, because you want to get an all-star level player in return for a great player. And I'm calling Ben Simmons a great player. Like Ben Simmons, he just can't be your primary ball handler and point guard in the half court if he's not going to take shots outside of the paint. That still doesn't mean he's not an incredible talent that I wouldn't want on my squad. But are you going to get fair value in return? I don't think they are at this point. It's going to be interesting to see how it plays out.
Jalen, I've always loved Ben Simmons' game. I love defenders and I love passers, and he is great at both. Let's not forget, he was second in Defensive Player of the Year voting, number 2. So he's basically the second best defender in the entire league. Yet all of a sudden, it's all individually his fault that they lose to the Hawks. Like, I think that this Ben Simmons slander has gotten out of control, and I think whatever team gets him, acquires him, incorporates him into a different system. I don't want to see the Embiid-Simmons movie again. I've seen that movie a few times. We all know how it ends. I want to see Simmons on a new team with different pieces around him, different coach, different philosophy, and I think that he will flourish on both ends of the floor. On both ends of the floor. I want to see this happen. I want to see this happen.
But there have been a lot of dominoes each year they lost. So Hinkie, then Brett Brown, then Jimmy Butler. You bring in Morey, you bring in Doc. Now you trade Ben Simmons. So again, they're not getting closer toward winning the East. It's going to be interesting because they do have some really good pieces, but the East has just gotten better.
What are some of the biggest roster changes that you think are good for the team?
I say the Miami Heat. They signed 4 of their 5 starters, including Duncan Robinson, who's a sniper, Jimmy Butler, to go with Bam Adebayo. Something that really happened under the radar besides picking up Kyle Lowry, they also retained Victor Oladipo for another year as well. So if he could be healthy, I would say the Miami Heat, definitely the winners this week. The other winners, D-Block. D-Block!
There is no winner.
Jada Styles and Sheik Luch
this week. Absolutely. Jalen, I know it's cliched. It's a very media thing to do, but I got to give it to the Lakers. I absolutely have to give it. They added Carmelo Anthony. Oh, they added that man, Russell Westbrook. And then when everyone's calling him old, they re-signed THT. They bring in Malik Monk for some shooting. They've got Trevor Ariza.
Thanks for watching ESPN on YouTube. For live streaming sports and premium content, subscribe to ESPN Plus right now.